It's here. Years ago, I did a video, probably one of my best performing videos on this channel, about buying a monitor for the Mac Studio. Now, the choice that made the most sense was Apple's own Studio Display. Oh my gosh. I just feel like I'm being watched. Strawberries. Can you tell I'm easily distracted? So BenQ apparently finally saw that video 3 years later and said, hey, you want to try our new, one of our new monitors that's 5K because yours is a measly 4K. So they sent over, this is the 2730S, and we're gonna check it out today. I'm gonna show you I'm gonna tell you about its features and stuff, but really stick around to the end because I've used this for about 2 weeks straight, staring at it, finagling it, changing it, and I'll give you my honest opinions about using it from the perspective of a photographer. Now first, let's talk about the BenQ lineup. So the BenQ, grab some popcorn, get ready. The BenQ lineup consists of this one is a PD. The PD is designed for designers, animators, photographers, videographers, anyone who in their workflow considers color to be crucial, like reds. But let me tell you something, honey. If you, yeah, this is gonna be fun. They do have a lower line, which works better with Macs. That's the M line, what's it called? The MA line, which is plug and play. The colors will match your MacBook, your Mac Studio. So this is better for like just general use where color isn't as crucial. And I will say, really quick review, right out of the box, from the factory, from the farm, right away, the colors were unbelievable. As soon as I plugged it in and started, you should go through your photos first when you test out a monitor instead of this stuff that you didn't produce. When you go through your own photos, when I went through my own photos, I was just blown away how sort of accurate gray it was just from my eyes. And one thing I realized right away was how my older monitor had a little bit of a red tinge to it. And the second thing I noticed is that my calibrator, which is I think over 8 years old, I need to not use it anymore because I even calibrated this monitor with my calibrator and it made it worse. So I put it back to the factory settings just to get those colors I was getting right out of the box. Just like my other one, it is on this silver mount. So I really like the design. It goes well with the MacBook, with the Mac Studio. I will say I do like my darker gray one better, more like a, goes with the granite slate gray Apple products. But this one goes better with the traditional MacBooks. It's the same exact color. And on the back, this guy is white and has a lot of connections. It has Thunderbolt 4. My old monitor had Thunderbolt 3. It has a display port, which is what I have connected right now, display port. It also has this thing is fire, yo. It has you can raise it and lower it, which is very useful. And it tilts up and down, of course, and also goes vertical if you want it to. I mean, should we push it? Okay, that's as far as it goes. No, it goes totally vertical. I just have it plugged in right now. I don't want to mess with it. By the way, the mount is very sturdy. It doesn't wobble around if the table wobbles. So it actually is it's very responsive and stiff. I like a lot. And it comes with a wireless puck. The previous model had a plug-in puck. The plug-in puck didn't bother me at all. I think batteries actually bother me a little bit more because I would put the puck with the cord hiding on the mount anyway. And by the way, the puck is designed to change your settings without going through, like clicking the little menu at the bottom they have. They have like a little menu that you could use at the bottom. I think I just turned it off. By the way, they did include batteries on the hockey puck. I just wanted to mention that. Popcorn, is it coming down? I Delicious. As a photographer, as a videographer, as a designer, as an animator, again, color is very important. And you can go through BenQ's literature on their website, but they have a lot of certifications that tell you skin tones have been certified by Pantone. Now, again, this is a 5K monitor, and the 5K monitor lets you see a little bit more detail. Now, at first I thought that 5K versus 4K was going to be a very big difference. You know, I've been using a 4K monitor for a while. It does make the print a little sharper. I was hoping like a knife would, as I said that, a knife would come out, you know, like sharper. But really, I don't think 4K versus 5K should, for its detail, is really going to make a big difference. Especially this is a 27-inch monitor. You can't really tell a difference unless you're putting your face up to the screen. You could see the little pixels, that there are more pixels per inch. I think 218 pixels per inch on this monitor. You're not really going to notice on a day. I didn't notice on a day-to-day. I definitely was going back and forth and saying, oh, yeah, this one's a little sharper. Then I would put it back on my 4K monitor and be like, okay, it's a little fuzzier. But these are things that don't really matter. Now, what's more impressive about it being ooh, that looks good right there. What's more impressive about it being 5K is that 5K works a little better with Retina displays, with Apple's upscaling and stuff like that. So the way, you know, Windows computers work is you can actually set the resolution to 4K or 5K and it totally matches. But Apple uses some kind of crazy upscaling, downscaling math in order for you to choose the ideal resolution, or if you want more space, you can actually, I mean, if you set it exactly to 5K, the print is microscopic. Like you can't work, you know? You'll have to upscale and choose a number that makes the print bigger. Now, one of the most impressive things is the anti-glare matte. You can actually see it here, my light that is lighting me up. You could see it in the screen and it's not so obnoxious, you know? And if you look at the screen straight on, the blacks look just absolutely amazing. And that struck me as soon as I started using the monitor, where, of course, how great the colors were. The contrast ratio is, what is it, 4,000 to 1 or something? I'll put it here. I don't have it with me, but it's increased from the previous models. So it does have great contrast. It has a fantastic matte screen compared to I didn't realize how glary my old 32-inch was until I put it next to this guy. And so that was a very welcome change with the matte screen. I will say though, however, that although the blacks look wonderful head on, I found that if you looked at stuff at an angle, that the matte screen sort of made the black areas look a little bit more brown or something. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I was looking back and forth at both of my monitors, and the monitor is completely fine if you look at it straight on. But if you start to look at it, the black areas at an angle, you do get that weird little sort of brown reflections. So I'm not really sure what that is. If you do have this monitor, maybe let me know if you see what I am seeing. And maybe we could figure out what it is. But yeah, straight on, no problem though. I forgot to mention, it does have speakers, which are fine. I have my own sound system here. I mean, come on, people. It has, whatchamacallit, also a headphone jack. So you can, you know, have your sound come right from it. It also, I think I mentioned this, but it also daisy chains well. And BenQ has some software that lets you match your monitors. So you actually can match your monitors. Now, I tried to do that, but my older monitor is not supported anymore, which is a bummer. You know, it would be nice if there was some legacy software that if you are I bought that last BenQ model and I can't calibrate it to this newer one. So if I would have bought this one, I would have been slightly disappointed that I couldn't studio match them. Now, what I did do is, after just looking at this one from out of the box, I actually did something I haven't done in so long. Time lapse. Something I haven't done in so long is I calibrated my 32-inch monitor by eye. All right, so my overall thoughts. What do I think of the PD2730S? First of all, if you're a photographer out there, videographer, designer, animator, web designer, go with the PD line. Its colors right out of the box were the #1 thing that impressed me. Super plus, I was like, wow. You could look at your own work in new eyes, with new eyes. Are there eyes up there? No eyes. We just have a lionfish. Oh, that's corny. Colors. Unbelievable. Love the colors. Second, that was most impressive was the matte screen. If you're coming from a Mac, like an 5K iMac with a glass screen, the glass screen gives you just better shininess and black levels, and it is impressive. But if you're working, looking, especially if you're, you know, again, printing and a designer and working with paper and art and stuff, a matte design to me is just so much better. So I've got really used to working with a matte screen that when I go to the Apple store and I look at a shiny MacBook, I'm just like, there's just so much glare in here. So that, can we? No, it didn't do it. That would have been cool. The other thing is the aesthetic kind of completely, you know, matches with MacBooks and Mac Studios and Mac Minis. So it would fit right under this fantastically. I'm not a super fan of this bezel at the bottom. My 32-inch had a perfect bezel all the way around. This one now has a slightly bigger bezel at the bottom. You don't really notice it though while you're working. And there's a little, I guess they wanted to put their branding on here, which I understand. I'm gonna say 5K. 5K is a plus, but slightly. It didn't make, like, it wasn't a deal breaker to get rid of my 4K. And I'm not getting rid of it, which I'll talk about in a second. Hawaii. But this one is very, very good. I mean, I'm telling you, it's very, very good. So those are the main positives, that it just has great connections. You can daisy chain it. You can, you know, continue to calibrate it using BenQ's own software. They have their own software. Okay, the negatives. So the negatives, #1, with this, you're not gonna get a webcam like you do with this Mac Studio or any kind of Mac. And I don't love the white on the back. I actually, and this gray, this light silver, for me personally, I wish they would have stuck with the darker gray. I kind of like that a little better. But that's just personal preference, but it's the right one. I actually like the puck to control all the screen brightness. And look at this, you turn the puck like this if you want to increase the brightness. We should talk about brightness, by the way. Oh my God, how did I not mention that in my pluses? This one is 400 nits. It's brighter than the 32-inch that I had. And now we're reaching sort of Mac levels. Just know that if you have it in the mode that it comes out of the box, you're not, I did a test on it, you're not gonna get the highest nits in that mode. I went through all the modes to see if one of them was brighter, and in the user mode, you can actually, in the user mode, crank that brightness up to 400 nits. But I found that just from using my last one was 250 nits, that if I could still work in a lit room. Like the sun can still come in on one side of the room. I just need to sort of move my drapes a little bit, and it's still bright enough. And this one is definitely bright enough for a sunlit room. So even at the color accurate mode. But back to the hockey puck. I love the hockey puck to change the brightness quickly. I think it's been so long since I haven't used the brightness keys on my keyboard. But if you're coming right from a Mac, just know that that is going to be a thing, that you're going to use the hockey puck to raise your brightness, lower it. They do have software, by the way. BenQ has their own software, which lets you control the monitor from the computer. But I just downloading other software, and you have to like agree to all the stuff and then stuff. I just wish that I didn't have to go through all that sign-in process. I ended up deleting the software because it's like something else running on my computer. So I prefer just the hockey puck for me is fine. And the last two are kind of negatives. The sort of off-axis losing the blacks is a little bit of a downer for me. And the biggest one, the big, come on, give me something big. Okay, whatever. I'd say the biggest one is that I found that the biggest negative of this monitor was that it was 27 inches. I wouldn't have purchased this size. See, if you're someone that wants to work with 2 monitors, that might be great. 2 27s, or even if you're used to just a laptop, this is gonna be huge to you. But after working with a 32-inch monitor, just me personally, I prefer to just have one space, one monitor right in front of me. For 2 weeks, I've been doing the back and forth, the left and right. I even put this one vertically at one point, which was really nice to see your images vertical, which is fantastic. It looks really nice. Again, I realize that I'm not a 2-monitor person. I'd rather have a 32-inch 4K monitor than this 5K 27-inch. That's just me personally. I found that this one didn't have enough space by itself for how I work. All right, aren't you glad you stuck around till the end? Another great choice for your MacBook, Mac Studio, or Mac Mini. I'll see you guys next time.